these steps I got from Real Truck. They are the Ionic, the factory style steps, and it claims to be for 2000 to 2007 2500. So this is a 2002 2500 HD, and I couldn't really find any great videos on installing these steps because they're different than all the other videos I've seen. So what I'm doing here is just showing you guys what I had to do to make these steps fit. So these are the tools that you'll need for this install. You'll need a 10mm, a 13mm, and a 15mm. I used this adjustable end wrench, and then you'll need a drill with, I found best, a step bit, just because it's shorter for getting the bigger size. You won't have the bit all the way out here because it's so big. So in the instructions that the kit comes with, it shows you the brackets, and that's how mine are. They have this 45-degree angle right here. So after you assemble it, it'll look like this. So you'll have the flat part there, nuts on the back side, and then you just have that 45. So that bolts flat to the inside of the rocker, and then this comes up and then it's supposed to hit the pinch weld, this 45. But the pinch welds on these trucks are almost flat, so I was trying to figure out the best way to get this bolted up correctly. The other thing too that's different about what the kit says to do as opposed to what my truck actually has is that in the instructions it says that you need to use these little spring clip things. It's got a little nut welded on the back, and it says to pull out the little plugs for these factory holes, and then you'll just slide it in. You may have to drill a hole next to it, but it's saying in the kit that, oh, it already has it installed, but my truck doesn't have any of those, and I'll show you that now. So I installed this step off camera, and let me show you what I was talking about. So on my truck, right here, you can see there's a little threaded insert. So from factory, I had one here. There's this one, but it sits higher than the rest of them. There's one there, and then there's one there. So the last one that my truck has is right here, right? But that, if you come around, is right here. So right after the door. So then the rest of this step would just be unsupported. And then I was thinking, I'm like, all right, well, if there's no threaded thing, I'll do what the instructions say and pull out the little plug and then put the clip in. Well, under here, there is a plug, but it's too low. So what I had to do is I just drilled a hole up there, lined it up so that way the other hole that I drilled for the bracket would line up with the pinch weld. And then that's the other thing. So those pinch welds, you have to fold them down to get the bolts to fit. So I don't know if I got sent the wrong kit, but I mean, it says it's for this. The instructions show that, but I mean, the angle on these pinch welds isn't that extreme compared to that bracket. So what I was having to do is get the wrench, put it on that pinch weld, and then just bring the whole thing down, twist it, so that way it'll be at a good enough angle so that way you can run that bolt through. It does stick out kind of odd, but I mean, it's well under the step, so you don't see it. So it's not that big of an issue. So this is the passenger side, and I'm going to install this now. But yeah, you can see there's one threaded insert, second, third, and then a fourth. And then this side was just like the driver's side. So there's nothing here. So I used this little tab off of the pinch weld, lined up my hole, and I drilled them there. Because if you use this, that's way too low. So that would never work. And then I didn't use that threaded insert on the other side because you can see the height. I mean, if this one's lined up with the middle of this circle, This one's well above it, so. And then you'll have to drill out the pre-existing holes on these pinch welds just to open it up enough for that bolt to fit. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this. We'll start with drilling out this hole. And again, I'm just using a step bit. So here's what I'm going to do for this last hole. I'm going to measure the distance between the bottom of the cab and this hole. So it is, at least on my truck, 2 3/4 inch. So I'm going to measure that over here. So 2 3/4 is right about there. So this is the lowest that I want my hole to be, because if I can put the bolt a little bit higher, it'll give me more room with that bracket. So now I'm going to want to line up my mark with the center line on this pinch weld. Which probably right here. So right now I'm going to drill my hole for my step. It's right about 2 1/4 inches from the bottom of the floor, and I've lined it up and eyeballed it anyway from this pinch weld to right here. So now let me see if this will fit, if I need to drill that out more. I'm going to take one of the clips that comes with it. So what you're going to do is drill the hole, so that way when you run your bolt through, it goes there. And then you're going to want to drill a bigger hole next to it, so that way you can slide this clip in like I had on the other side. So if I can see if this is going to fit. Yep, sits flush, and then this needs to be opened up to just about right here, minimum. So I'm going to drill a hole next to this, but I'm realistically wanting it, this is a minimum, wanting it to come out to about there, so that way I can slide the clip in and it'll give me a little bit of wiggle room so it's not super tight. Okay, so with that drilled out, let's see if I can get this to fit. Yep. Okay, so that's in. So for this, I don't know exactly how much to bend it. It's more of just an eyeball thing, but let's see. I'm gonna start here, get it tight, and I'm just, like I said, just start bending this pinch weld over to try to get it to match the angle of those brackets. So probably right about there should be okay. So let me move on to the others. Okay, so now with those all being bent, I went and threw this bracket on, and like I said, I already have the pre-drilled and tapped holes. So I threw that top bolt in to hold the bracket, and then I threw these clips in. You don't need to. These are meant more for if you do what the kit says or the instructions, you pop these plugs out and then you drill the hole next to it. So that way you can do kind of like how we did on the back with that clip. That's what that's for. They're not meant for down here. They say in the instructions just to use these nuts, but like I said, I didn't use any because I have these. So I just ran out because it only comes with 4 per side, or sorry, yeah, 4 per side, 8 total. So I've already used those up for my other ones. So for my remaining 2, I'm just gonna use a washer on the backside. But from here, everything just, you follow the instructions. It was just this part that kind of got me tripped up. So I ended up just bending those down. But yeah, so you'll tighten these tighten these. You put your bolts in for the steps like this. You can adjust the height on here. On my truck, I did the middle. It does rub. It's up against the body, but also the truck's not perfect, so I don't care. If you have nice paint, I would just go one step lower just to get it away from the body, but I liked how close it is here, so that's where I'm gonna leave it. But anyway, yeah, I hope this helps the next guy if he's confused on installing this kit on an O2 specifically, because I couldn't find any videos, like I said. So this is how I got it. It fits nice and sturdy. You can stand on it. Nothing feels sketchy. So yeah, anyway, hope this helps. Have a great day.